Question. Do you think the worst games can change? Do you think every game can be a good game if they try? Here's a better question. Do you want to have a bad time? Because you take another step closer. You're really not gonna like that. What's next? Hello! Downey here. Goal is rich. And it's better score. It's not my favorite. It's really, really not my favorite game. Really, really not my favorite game in the series. Here's the problem. But the story is not my favorite game. And unfortunately, all three games in the second set are connected to one another. So this game, Spectre Score, is connected to Miracle Max, which is then connected to the Aslan Legacy. So all three of these games are interconnected, and the story goes like that. Spectre Score, Miracle Max, and then Aslan Legacy. Easy as that. However, there's also a movie. And that movie takes place between Miracle Max and Aslan Legacy. Well, it takes place between Spectre Score and Miracle Max. And it's called Professor Layton and the Internal Diva. And it... Anyway, this is my retrospective review on Professor Layton and Spectre's Core. Let's get started with the story. So yeah, this is the prologue series, as I like to call it. The prologue series, it takes place before the three games of the main series. Hence why it's called the prologue series. So let's see what we got. Meet Professor Layton. Look at dark artists and a few sets of puzzles, riddles, and all things mysterious. In the most baffling cases, no challenge for the Professor Layton. One day, the letter from his old friend called Triton, Father Luke Triton. Now, mysterious giant sounding in the fog has the way was to home. Guy to say the letter Professor Layton and his new sister Emily. So the ten of Missy, the light on the mystery. So Emily is the new character in these games. However, DC doesn't show up in the first three games. And here comes my first problem. You always gonna expect that something's gonna happen to her. Come on. If she doesn't show up in the first three sets of games, and I always told you this set of games are prologue games, it means that Emily, for some reason, leaves at the end of the Aslan Legacy. So, in my mind, playing the first three games first spoils what happens in Aslan Legacy in the way, because you already know what's gonna happen. There's even a new detective introduced who also some reason disappears, but we never told why he disappears, which is kind of weird. Then it's a young boy named Luke who believes that the world is coming to an end. Let's call it the Spectre. goes through the town, it will appear. First, the legend of the Spectre told for generations. Could the heart of the mysterious event with nature sends us up? At the soul shadows the town. Can our heroes code the and that's how the story starts. Well, it doesn't really start like that. It starts with Layton and the guy look like they might have died with a punch to his face with the Spectre. Yeah, it looks like the person they start. However, if you play the first 3 games, you always spoil that he doesn't die. Which is my second part with Fallout games. Yes, they tell a story of before the games were the games. The first 3 games were released before this, so everyone has a chance to play them. Me too. Well, I first thought the story was kinda interesting, having a prologue kind of perspective on the case. The more I thought about it, the less intrigued I came, and then I just came bored. Yes, throughout this entire game, I was bored. Not a single thing interested me, because I knew it would all disappear by the end of the saga. And only 2 questions kept me intrigued to keep playing. What happened to Emery? What happened to Emery, and one more character that would get introduced into the game. And that's basically it. Those 2 characters are the only 2 that kept me intrigued. Oh, and also the secret garden things, which all get explained in the 3rd game. Is this set? But like I said, it's not my favorite. It is not my favorite game in the Layton series. Anyway, onto the presentation. And again, the presentation has changed slightly. And I love the slight changes. Love the music as well, but I like the slight changes. Oh, even the gameplay kind of changed. There's hinkling still, hidden puzzles, but now there's also collector items and mouses everywhere just to find. Right? And of course, there's puzzles. Tons of puzzles. And there's a new feature called episodes in this, which are past events from various characters' of view. So if they see episodes of basically, okay, what exactly happened here? What exactly happened? So if you're intrigued to that, yeah, that's what it basically is. Now the different styles of gameplay. There's a toy train, which again is just, you have to build a track with a limited amount of pieces before you run out. There's a fish where you to bubble to try and collect coins, and there's this puppet theater actions to tell a story. Again, these seem less intriguing than the last game. And you don't even get to name the fish whatever you want. So unlike the last two games where in Pandora's Box I made the handsome as free fox and Frost you shall name the parrot, sure you can't name the fish anything. God damn it, I was gonna make a joke about something fishy going on. Also, Maggie, remember what this series is called. Retrospect. These are retrospects on past events. Not how I enjoy the game, but how I used to play them. So, I'm kinda sorry I called you fat, but when I was a kid, I didn't know any better. So I just came to assume you were the hamster. But you took more fans to call me calling you fans than me calling you a hamster. I thought that'd be worse, me calling you a hamster. It's a freaking hamster! It kinda talks. Maybe. Anyway. The ending is... And there's still plenty of puzzles to keep you intrigued. I love the puzzles. And it's even boss fights at the end against the Spectre itself. I won't spoil exactly what happens because I side against spoiling. I just did that to the first 3 games because the story isn't really interconnected. But these games are interconnected, so spoiling one game's ending will spoil the next and the next. So I will say that the ending is intriguing and introduces a character that I also get intrigued from. He thinks he's the popular of this series. Oh well, what did I figure Spectre's called? I think it's actually not my favorite game in the series. I mean, I get where it was going. It was the beginning, but most of it was just boring to me because I already knew what was going to happen. And because of my playing on the first 3 games. Yeah, some of the stuff in the game was intriguing. But I already know that first he's just going to solve this case, and then he's going to solve this case, and then he's going to solve the last case. It's because he appears in Curious Village. And these games take place before that. I know it sounds like a tiny criticism, but to me is a big criticism. But one of my favorites are the outside puzzles, where you're stuck in the way and there's a puzzle blocking your path that's not really presented by everyone. It's just on the map, and to get past it, you must solve the puzzle. And like I said, this game is not my favorite. If I ever had to say which game was my favorite, this is how I put it from top to bottom, you know, in a way. So bottom to top of my favorite game. Favorite game. So I'm going to place down a kind of way that you can know what I to say about them. So here's my favorite. So as you can see, So my favorite game is Lost User Dog, then Pandora's Dog, then Miracle Max, then Special Score, and then it's a tie between Aslan Galaxy and Curious Village. Yeah, I have a tie between two games. Oh my, which one is the least favorite? And it's kind of... Well, you might be saying, what the hell, yeah? Why are you tying two games together? Well, that's simple. I hate the both of them. I hate this one, and I hate this one. I hate this one, I hate this one. I hate this one, I hate this one. I hate this one, I hate this one. And I can't decide which one I hate more. Because there's a bothersome puzzle that bothers me and ruined my experience of the entire game. Well, this game was just fat boring and had no intriguing characters, but the story was kinda intriguing. It was connected to the other games, as I said, so it was kinda intriguing, but you always knew what's kinda gonna happen because of the fact that you played the future games after for this. So you had an idea what's gonna happen. So I still don't know which one is my least favorite because both of them are kind of off. Now I didn't put Fascinator vs. Things right because I consider that the game does. So anyway, so as you can see, my top three favorites are Lost Future, which is number 1, then Pandora's Box, which is number 2, and my third favorite is Miracle Max. And oh boy, I love Miracle Max. It was a much better game than Spectre's Core. Seriously, that game is so much better than Spectre's Core. So much better. It wasn't because it was on the 3DS and everything was 3D. It's because it felt much shorter game and had much more intriguing elements. And it even explores more on Layton's past, which is my favourite part of the series if you don't get of me putting Lost Future in first. I love finding out Layton's past. And again, this ties it with Legacy because you also get to explore a bit of Layton's past. But I didn't feel like that made up the game. And this game was much better than this one. So it's hard for me to say which is better. So actually, no, screw it. Miracle Max. All three of these games are the same. What do you expect? Now here's the problem. Oh, right. This is before they... Right. You put it in there. Anyway. Here's how the story goes. Okay. One day, Presley receives a rolling answer from an old school Anne, Angelo Reader, and sets out to the of Monte d'Or, accompanied by his apprentice Luke and assistant Emmy. According to the letter, Monte d'Or is plagued by a series of terrifying incidents connected to a mysterious object, the Mass of Chaos. Not the first time that I heard of the Mass of Chaos. It's all dates back to the school's day when I was 17. And again, that already intrigued me. Seriously, Mass of Chaos. The Mass of Chaos. And it's all connected. Like, all these magical events are connected to this mass of chaos. That means that basically anything can happen. But there's also a way that anything can happen. Making this more intriguing because I love magic. Ugh. Like, Fascinating Things Right is one of my favorite games because it had a magic in it, and I love solving magic because I know there's always a way to solve magic. No matter how far your leaps of logic goes, it's always a way to solve logic. The presentation, oh, I love the presentation of this game. It looks kinda chibi with the 3D graphics, and I love it. There's even new 3D animations, and thanks to the characters looking 3D rendered. And of course there's puzzles, hint coins and all that. And the music, I love the music. And again, there are some other things. There's episodes still. The one-stop shop, which you have to reach goals and shadows to try and sell everything. And there's certain rules to the cost that are drawn to each item, so you have to try and think of a way to better sell everything to a customer. And it's really intriguing. And then there's this toy robot that you can control. Again, it's kind of like your train of the last game, where you go around the hazard course and try to get it to the end. And it even has a power gauge as well. And the weather show is much there because you can actually name it as well. I forgot what I didn't name it. I think I just named it whatever I didn't name it. I think I also named it. It looks kind of chubby bunny, or something like that. I don't know. I forgot. But it's a kind of cute bunny. Yeah. And of course, you can chat to the bunny. You can train the bunny, and you can even put on a rabbit show, which is really cute. And there's even more sections, like there's horse riding section that pops up every once in a while where you control with a horse on the touch screen. And there's this ruins exploration section where you'll explore the ruins. And I love that section because it reminds me of the Legend of Zelda series, solving puzzles and figuring out to destroy enemies with that puzzle. It's so intriguing. And I love this game much better than last one. It is a much better game, which is why it's higher on my favorite list. It's so much better. Yeah, and it's one of my favorites. It's intriguing. The plot is also very intriguing, as well as the plot twist. I love the plot twist, and I loved everything in this game. And I couldn't wait for Aslan Legacy to finish off this monthly good trilogy. But oh boy. Oh boy! As you may have noticed, like I said, it's tied with my least favorite game in the first Layton series. It's tied with my least favourite. And that's never a good thing. Never ever a good thing. So next time on the Layton Death, we're finishing this whole thing with Aslan Legacy and saying why it's one my least favourite Layton games, tied with Curious Village. See you guys then.